Good evening. The East Hempfield Township Board of Supervisors meeting is called to order. Tonight's meeting has been advertised and will be held in person and online using Zoom call-in information posted on our website. The video and audio is being recorded. Robert's Rules of Order will apply. In order to offer comment, you must be a resident or business owner in the township. Comments must be about the agenda item being discussed and are limited to 3 minutes. If speaking in person, please go to the podium, identify yourself by name and address before speaking, and sign the guest log on the table. If commenting on Zoom, follow the chat procedure. We provide time for public comment on any topic towards the end of the meeting. We will only take action on agenda items. Please join me and rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Now the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. But first, I'd like to welcome Acting Chief of Police, Christopher Chase.
Thank you.
It's his first meeting here, so we're glad to have him. All right, the consent agenda is normally made up of routine items that typically require little review, discussion, or explanation. There's 2 items on the consent agenda, invoices and the approval of minutes. Any comments from the board?
No comments here.
Any comments from the audience or Zoom? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Landis, second by Ms. Abbott. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Motion carries 5-0. The next item on the agenda is the first action item, Commonwealth Financing Authority Multimodal Traffic Fund Grant Submission Resolution 2026-19 for the Church Street Bridge Replacement Project.
So this project is on our hit list to get funding for before we replace it. It's probably a $3.5 million project. This is the bridge that crosses over Amtrak. We had applied for this funding previously and were denied. We then submitted the same type of application to the PennDOT MTF, the multimodal, and they're currently pending. So we're continuing to submit. We're going to submit again to the Commonwealth Financing Authority to see if we can get funding for this. It's a $3 million ask. If we get it, great. If we get the PennDOT one, great again, and we'll just keep searching for funding sources.
Okay, is it the kind of thing, we just need to wait until we get funding, and if funding doesn't come, we'll just keep delaying the project?
We'll delay it to the point where we can't anymore. We have another option to seek funding through the federal grant or federal bridge funding, which is administered by the MPO, the Metropolitan Planning Group at the county level. And we could then show them that we've applied for grants, haven't been able to get them. Do they have any federal funds available for us?
Okay. Anything from the board?
And just a comment on the current condition of the bridge. I know it's in poor condition, and this isn't a project that we can push down the road, or hopefully push down the road very long.
Not too far.
Right.
We're currently under 6-month inspections as opposed to 2-year inspections by PennDOT.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Any comments from the audience or Zoom? All right. Hearing none. Do I hear a motion to adopt CFA MTF grant submission, a motion to adopt resolution 2026-19 authorizing the submission of a $3 million grant request to the Commonwealth Financing Authority Multimodal Traffic Fund for the Church Street Bridge Replacement Project.
So moved. Excuse me.
A second?
Second.
Motion by Ms. Abbott, second by Mr. Bennett. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion carries 5-0. The next action item is Officer Joshua Sandman, Employment Separation Agreement and Release regarding permanent medical disability.
Sergeant Sandman incurred a on-duty injury in December of 2024 and has been off work since then. We have gone through the workers' compensation settlement process. That's been handled, and now we have a separation of duty to give him a pension disability. And this is the agreement that we have. Officer or Sergeant Sandman has signed off on this, and it's now up to the board to make that decision, and his retirement date would be effective June 30th of 2026. He is a 16-year officer. And I keep saying Mr. Sergeant Sandman is on Zoom.
Oh, okay, in the middle. Okay. I see. Any comments from the board?
I would just like to thank Officer Sandman for his efforts on behalf of the East Hempfield Township community. He was also, I believe he was also involved in the negotiating contracts with the township. So again, I want to thank him and appreciate his work.
Okay, anything else? Anything from the audience or Zoom? All right, hearing none. Do I hear a motion to authorize the chair to sign the employment separation agreement and release concerning Officer Sandman's permanent medical disability retirement?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Motion from Mr. Bennett, second by Mr. Tran. All those in favor, say
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. The next item on the agenda is old business, and there's no old business listed. Next item is new business. Any new business? Hearing none. The next item is public comment. Anything from the audience or Zoom? Hearing none. The manager's report is next.
Another report that doesn't have a significant amount of information, new information on it. We talked about the Church Street. We talked about Officer Sandman. The Harrisburg Pike signals, we're still waiting for parts on that. Moving to stormwater projects, the Hark Golf Stream Bank restoration is moving along. That pre-bid meeting is probably scheduled for the end of July. That's the one that we get 444,000. We have a grant for 800 and some thousand. We are discussing potentially using some of that excess funds towards the Hark parking lot project for Rain Garden, which is within the grant parameters. We also had a planning group meeting on the 24th of June. There was a lot of concepts, ideas discussed there. We talked about density, zoning districts. And I'm sure you're aware, we are fairly homogeneous in terms of what we have for density requirements between 4 and 5 units per acre. So we're looking at reevaluating those numbers and seeing if we can increase our density to really actually create a high density zone. So that's something that's in the works. We're looking at it. We also are looking at our official map. Our official map outlines where our roadways are going to be, what types of roadways they are. We looked at specifically at Good Drive. Good Drive was earmarked as a answer or a thoroughfare to get people off of Wardstown Road. We would improve Good Drive, with roundabouts and widening to encourage people to use that as opposed to straight through Royerstown Road. The more we talked about that and as things developed, Good Drive doesn't make sense to do that. So we're going to be looking at Royerstown Road and potentially looking at improvements. I can't tell you what those improvements are. If it's a roundabout at some of the intersections, if it's improvements to signalization, that all has to be fleshed out. But the first step is to get that on the community, on the official map, so that we are able and aligned to start looking at grant funding through the county and the feds. So it's a process. We're working through that. Eventually, you will see that map at one of your meetings when we finalize it, and we'll notate what the changes are on there. We are also looking at the zoning ordinance amendments. We're looking at definitions and criteria for data centers. Cluster development density is being looked at. Bed and breakfast parking regulations and short-term rentals, we're defining that and creating criteria and looking at narrowing the definition of off-street parking. Again, we had a first planning meeting. It's going to have probably at least one, maybe two more till we fine tune that with the planning group. And then it'll come to the Board of Supervisors to see if you'd like to advertise those documents and then be up for consideration for adoption. So it's a work in progress, but we are discussing those things. That concludes my report unless there's questions.
No questions. Okay. I do have two small items, and that is our, what I call the education sessions we have prior to some meetings. The next one on July 15th, Jeff Swinehart from Lancaster Farm Preservation is going to come and talk to us for about 15 minutes or 20 minutes. So that was the first item. And then the second one is, this is our final meeting before the 4th of July, which is the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, you know, which obviously is a big event for our country. So I just want to recognize that that happened, or that is happening. And, you know, I hope everybody finds a good way to celebrate that or recognize that. Anything else?
We're good.
All right. All right. I will move to adjourn at 6:15.